You know, guys, well, I'm back online now, guys. Let's go to the next call. Thank you, April, for calling up. Uh, I'm just gonna go to the next call. I said enough about Roland Martin. Bottom line is, um, Roland Martin is. I don't understand how you can. Roland Martin claims that he's the most. This is black media and the black support. We black. Yeah, dude. But if you really are supporting the black community, you have to support Medicare for all. You gotta support. I don't see how you don't support free local college tuition. I don't get it. It just makes no sense. And it's got to be a financial or career reason for these people not to. And don't tell me that you're smarter or you know more. And you got, well, I don't want to hear it. You don't know, no. That's not why. All right, that's not why. And I don't know why the system isn't working. I don't know. It's on. All right. So I can't see my stream on YouTube. I see I'm back on Facebook. I can't tell in my monitoring system. It looks like we may be okay. We're back online on Periscope. We're online on Facebook. It says sending data on YouTube. I don't know if that means we're online though. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they cut my feed tonight. I don't know. They said the logo's on, but nothing is loading up. All right. We got a problem on the phones, guys. I can't go to phone calls. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now it's green. Thank you. Who was that? Amen? Somebody said, Tim, just do a refresh. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to go back to phone calls while we have it. 301 April, thank you for that. Let's see. What about? Let me go back to that 917, the other 917. You're live, 917. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim, this is your boy Sam from New York City, man. How you been?
Hey, Sam, man. Did you hear me shout you out earlier?
Dude, I have been trying to figure out all week the words to say to you, man. Thank you is not enough. You are my hero.
Oh, man.
You are the man.
No, man. Your question was the hero, bro. You made me look smarter. Thank you, Sam.
Oh, man. Listen, Tim, anything I could do to help. Not only my Wolfpack member, last week, I'll tell you this. Last Friday, I got my new job. Monday comes around, I'm hearing you shout me out for an interview. I'm like, today's my lucky day. I marked it on my calendar. I'm like, this is my day. Next year, I celebrate it with a cake or something, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
So I'll tell you this right now, not only am I a Wolfpack member, I'm tell you this right now, every week, I'm going to donate $20 to, if not more, to getting you a new radio or a new computer system. Okay? Man. I'll donate on Patreon. You are the man, Tim.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you, Sam. But just know, man, Max Blumenthal, he's a very accomplished journalist, brother. And he didn't compliment you just for fun. He really thought your question was very informed and a question that was refreshing for him to get. So I felt good asking him that question, man. It's not, like you said, it wasn't to kiss your ass, man. It's what it is.
No, I appreciate it, man. Listen, I know you're busy. I read the book already. I'm rereading again. If you want, I'll make bullet points per chapter, send it to you. Anything I could do to help, man.
That's what's up, man.
So that's kind of why I'm anything I could do to help, man. That's actually why I'm calling. So I loved the interview, right? And I'll say two things. So going back to the video you did with Tulsi Gabbard and Tucker Carlson, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that that attack was in last September-ish, I think, sometime around that reign.
Right.
And Tucker Carlson was the only person. I remember this. Tucker Carlson was the only news anchor who challenged the narrative, at least in the U.S. The other was in England, I think Peter Hitchens or something. The reason he challenged it was because the media just used the term rebels, right? Well, do you know who the group was that was controlling that area? What we called rebels? this was a group. Kyle did a good video on this. This is a group that went by the name, let me see, Jaish al-Islam, meaning the Army of Islam. The leader of this group, and I'm not making this up, I'll email you a video where Kyle broke it down, but this dude literally praised bin Laden, called for a genocide, and I'm not making this up, man, you could search this, but they put women in cages, all right, literally using them as shields. And Tucker Carlson was the only person who pointed this out. It's like, so why do we just blindly trust them? And he and Tulsi were right for calling for skepticism, because now with that report that came out. And I don't know if you remember when when you interviewed Max, when he talked about that group HTS?
Yes. That was
I'll send you a clip.
Yeah.
Huh?
You mentioned HTS in your question.
Yeah. Well, that's the Al Qaeda branch. They changed their name. I'm not making this up. They were, as Max pointed out, they were called Al Nusra, officially the Syrian branch of Al Qaeda. They changed their name again. I can memorize 31 basket flavor Robins, but these guys changed their name more times than you can count. Something like Jabhat Fatah al-Sham, whatever. The DOD was like, no, you're still a terrorist. Then they became HTS. Now, what I found disgusting, and I'll send you a clip, if you get a chance, DM Max on this, because he would explain more about it. But there's an American journalist, a black dude, who's named Bilal Kareem. Something like that.
Is he embedded with these guys?
Yeah, he's literally an American dude, black dude who was embedded with the Al Qaeda people, and he's praised by the leader. They called him their media man. Okay.
Right.
Now, why am I bringing this up? The reason I'm bringing this up is because remember you asked that question, they call them rebels. Well, one of the British news network, Sky News, they did a video. I can't make this up. They were filming with other than Bilal Kareem.
Wow.
And they called HTS rebels, and then they said, the Syrian regime and Russians view them as terrorists. I'm like, yeah, and so does the entire international community. And she's interviewing the lead commander. But she doesn't explain. She's wearing a full, Middle Eastern burqa thing, right, like under traditional Islamic law. But she doesn't explain that's only in that region because they enforce, the Saudi Arabia theocracy. The rest of Syria, women can dress as they please. And I'm sitting there, oh my God. Max would give you more on this, dude, but I'll send you a clip so you can see just the level of where we're at in terms of, propaganda. And that's why Tulsi gets smeared on. Because she points this out. She's like, this is factually the largest Al-Qaeda region, but the other media literally will say, rebel held.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll send you the clip, but listen, man, Tim, there was just so much love from that interview. I loved it every second, man. The sound, it didn't bother me. I turned it up, I turned it down when I needed to. I loved the entire interview.
Thank you, brother.
That was phenomenal, man. There was one thing I was going to ask you, and it just slipped my mind. Give me a second. I should always write this stuff down. Okay, right. You know what I cannot stand is the media makes such a big fuss over this Pete guy. And what did he do? A town hall where he says we don't have time to focus on Medicare for all?
Right.
Yeah. Well, listen, buddy, we're not all, Harvard and, making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. So maybe you don't have time for Medicare for all.
Right.
But the rest of us are actually on the verge of, dying. So I'm sorry if it inconvenienced you in some way.
That was Beto O'Rourke.
But, that was Beto O'Rourke. Right, yeah. Isn't his wife like a billionaire or something?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, so okay, he's cool. He doesn't have time for it. The rest of us can just die. It's all right. But remember that article I told you about last time? He's failing upwards. That was the article for Beto O'Rourke. He fails upwards.
Wow.
I've never heard that in my life. You ever tell your kids, son, you're failing upward. Good job. You'd give them an ass whooping.
Right.
So listen, Tim, first off, one thing. I loved your email back to me. Man, what you doing up at 4:30 in the morning?
Man,
Brother, get some sleep.
I'm a night dog, man. I work a lot at night, man. I really do, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I want to keep it up because I know there are a lot of people on the line. So I'll send you those videos, and because I know you don't got time to be doing the searches. But listen, man, I cannot thank you enough. That meant so much to get a shout out like that. And I'm glad that question he pointed out, but none but love, man. I'm going to just keep donating until that new computer comes your way, man.
Man, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Keep doing what you're doing, baby.
You got it, man. Peace. Man, that's what I'm talking about, man. That really lights me up, man, when I have my people, man, they chip in, man. And, you know, Sam is one of a few people who chip in and do what they can, man, and that's really helpful, guys. Like I tell you, I'm always in a learning mode. People taught me about guns. People told me about different issues of Medicare for all, different concerns about pharmaceuticals. Then I got this brother, Sam Nice, telling me about Middle East, what's going on with Al-Qaeda. And what he just hinted at is something I've always wondered why, because it gets so confusing when I hear all these different acronyms and different names for these organizations. And what he just dropped is a jewel. He doesn't even know it. He just answered one of my questions, which was, why are they all these different names? Well, these organizations keep changing their names because they get labeled as terrorist groups. I didn't know that's why we have all these different names. And a lot of these names are talking and referencing a group at a different time. So one time it was called this, and they changed its name to that, and people don't always make the distinctions when they talk, and it gets very confusing to a layperson. So thank you, Sam, for shedding light on this information. And just when I go to the next call, I just want to say, Max and Ben Norton, I want to have Ben on the show. They have a podcast called Moderate Rebels Podcast. Go check that out, moderaterebels.com. You can find that. I'm going to do a live interview with them in person sometime in D.C. as soon as we can coordinate it, because we're local to each other, and that'll be great. And I just want to bring you guys the best content, so stay tuned for that. All right, I'm going to the next call, guys. That's what I'm talking about, man. Good people, good people. 425, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, it's Bree. How you doing?
What's up, sis? How you been?
I've been really busy.
Okay, well, as long as you're okay, that's all I care about.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Hey, I want to let you know, I think your caller volume is really high on YouTube, comparatively to your voice.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I just want to make sure they hear the call. I'm going to cut them down just a little bit there. Thank you, Bree.
You're welcome. I'll look it out. So, I have been busy, and that's kind of kept my mind occupied. I've kind of not really been paying attention to stuff. And so I don't call in unless I feel like I have something worthy to contribute, you know? And this time I feel like I do. So I wanted to comment about Julian Assange and the charges brought against him by our corrupt-ass government.
Please.
So I think, it's not people's fault, because we don't teach any law to people throughout any of the education system. And so people in power, they make things more complicated than they really are to obfuscate the corruption. And because, the average American doesn't really know any law, it's really easy to confuse and trick them. So I think most people assume if a government brings charges against somebody, that means they have the right to bring those charges. And especially in this day and age, that's not necessarily the case. The normal thing is to not bring forward cases that you cannot win or that you have no authority to bring, which is why Obama never charged Assange, because Obama knew the U.S. government had to have and didn't have jurisdiction to bring and win such a case. And so people just don't understand that basic concept of jurisdiction, and that basically means the right, the authority to hold somebody to a law. And so jurisdiction it's a three-legged stool. It has three elements, and you have to prove all three. And if you don't have all three, you don't have jurisdiction, and you shouldn't bring a case. This is very basic and very simple. So the three elements, just so people understand, I want people to understand this so that they're not taken advantage of. The three elements are in personam, territorial, and subject matter jurisdiction. The U.S. does have subject matter jurisdiction, and everybody that's out talking on the internet and citing cases and giving examples, if you go in to read them, it's all about subject matter jurisdiction. And yeah, that's freaking easy to prove. And subject matter just means, does the issue at hand pertain to them? Did this hurt me, affect me, apply to me? So that's easy to prove. And yeah, they got that. But Julian was never in the territory of the United States, and he did not publish his material on or in the territory of the United States. So they don't have territorial jurisdiction over him or those publications. And then in personam, which is probably the one that people get the most confused by or understand the least, it basically addresses whether someone was bound by contract to follow the laws in the first place. So U.S. law only applies to citizens because we have contracted or consented to U.S. jurisdiction and law. So in personam is the most important element of jurisdiction for like Julian's team to challenge, in my opinion, because he's not under contract to follow American law. No citizen of another nation is obligated to know or follow American law unless they come into this territory on a visa where they consent to follow those laws upon entry, and now they have that in personam jurisdiction over this foreign citizen. So without that fundamental element of like contractual bondage to American jurisdiction, then the U.S. has no right to bring a case against Assange. It's bullshit. And it's really simple. It's not even, this isn't complicated. People are going to try and make you think it's complicated. It's not. This is very fundamental basic law in Western jurisprudence in this country. Go look at the Declaration of Independence. Go look at your Constitution, and you'll find these concepts. So it's really important, in my opinion, for the American people to kind of grasp and get their minds around the fact that Assange did not consent to our laws, and therefore he's not bound by them, period. End of fucking conversation. And that Trump and the United States government right now, they're making a mockery of law. And everybody else in the other nations, they know it and they see it. So if they're going to continue on with this lawless pursuit of a non-citizen journalist, then the American people need to understand that law has no meaning in this country anymore. If they go through with this, law doesn't mean anything. They're just making that shit up as they go. And that's tyranny, and we should not tolerate that. And so you better get your yellow vest and get ready to rumble. And that's my comment. Thanks, Tim.
Man, I appreciate you, Bree. Thank you so much for the call. And you know, I tell you guys, I got a medicine head, so I meant to bring that up. I meant to be one of my issues. I hope I corrected the volume. I thank you, Bree. I looked and the volume was spiking on callers. I know KJ was loud as hell. It was like, but yeah, I wanted to bring it up about Assange because, of course, I'm an Assange supporter because I support free speech, I support free press, and I support the fact that WikiLeaks, what they published was information that was factual and accurate. It was unflattering. This is the reason why people have a problem with it. If it would have been unflattering to the other side, they'd have been just fine with it, as they were when he published unflattering documents, or when WikiLeaks published unflattering documents about Bush under the Bush administration. They weren't complaining. So anyway, and I also got a problem with people complaining, you know, they haven't proved that Russia hacked the DNC. I want to see this information. I hear them say it, but where's the proof that they did it? You can't just tell me someone did something. Show me they did it. You should want them to show you the evidence. I thought the DNC service wasn't examined by the FBI. What evidence did you have? We're still looking at CrowdStrike, a private organization that was hired by the Clintons to look at this service. I thought the FBI they were never released to the FBI. So what basis do you have to say that they were hacked by Russians or anyone else? And least of all, that information was given to WikiLeaks. How do you even know this? So it's a tangled web. But the bottom line is, if Julian Assange is extradited to America, he will not receive a fair trial. I understand what Bree's talking about, but I believe they will railroad Assange. That's why we got to fight against it. We got to take to the streets on this one, man. Yeah, if they do extradite Assange, we got to go to the streets, man. I'm gonna have to be out in the streets of D.C. We got to protest this. I got to be there. We have to do it. That's sick, well, whatever's going on, just pull all the teeth out. Hope y'all love me anyway. I'll be like this. Hey, welcome to Tim Black Show. I'm Tim Black. We're Pat. And y'all be like, Tim look jacked up, but that's our brother. We love him. I'm gonna go to the next call, man. Thank you for holding on. Uh, 310. 310, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
This is David D. Hilster. I'm a friend of Nico's. I'm down here in Florida. Been listening to you for quite a while. In fact, you guys inspired me to start my own YouTube channel. I'm a progressive and just following you guys and watching you grow and got me on. I'm a science progressive. I'm a guy on the science side that, people out there in, believe it or not, in big science are repressing people. You can't go against the mainstream in that in any way either. But I just want to thank you for inspiring a lot of us out there in your work. And I'm a computer person, and I have problems with the computers all the time. I work with supercomputers, so please don't get frustrated. Computers just suck in general, and I work with them every day.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
And my comment is I'm a Tulsi supporter. I was a Bernie supporter, and I agree. It just gets frustrating sometimes to hear. I think Bernie's been painted into a corner a lot of times, and he's working within the system he can. I think the thing that's bothering me is as we really get close to the a war with Iran, is that the American people just seem to be asleep. I mean, I grew up. I'm a little older. I'm almost 60. I grew up hearing about the Vietnam War, but people were protesting. They're getting out there. I mean, do you think that? My question to you is: do you think that the American people are going to wake up and that's going to happen?
I hope so, my brother. I hope so. I hope they do.
Yeah, because I think to me we have to get out there. We can't just sit back anymore. I mean, it's nice to talk about things and tweet things but this idea that we're not going to we got to get out to the streets. I mean, I took my daughter down to see Bernie Sanders in 2016. I'm trying to get her realizing what's going on in this country, but it's hard. I'm just hoping that we can do that. Somebody can call the action, and I'm not seeing that. Who would be, in your opinion, Tim, that could get people doing that on the street? But that was my question to you.
Wow.
Thanks a lot.
Brother.
Keep it up. Great work.
Sure, man. Thank you for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, man, that's great, man. Out there in Florida, Mikasa Sukasa, supporting that show, that network over there. Wow, man. Yeah, I think we need both. I think we need people to inspire the people that go out in the street. We need people that inspire and wake people up and give them information that they're not going to get in mainstream media. I think that's part of the process. I think there are also people who are doing real work in the streets. They're doing real work to galvanize movements. That happens with a lot of grassroots organizations. What they need is a platform, and what they need are people to be vocal and work with those platforms in order to replicate and amplify those messages. I think that's the starting block. People don't get me wrong. I mean, I believe that the masses are ready to be ignited. I mean, we got people, suffering all across this country in various ways, and if we don't have leaders, we're gonna have fascists rise up. We're gonna have more dark, bad characters, bad actors rise up if more good actors and good characters don't rise up. You get what I'm saying? So I strongly agree with you, my friend. And that's what I'm trying to do with Tim Black's Wolfpack. We want to be able to grow and be active. And there are going to be those within the Tim Black Wolfpack and what we're trying to put out, TTL Media, which is my corporation. And what we're going to try to put together is a nonprofit. We have to start somewhere. We have to start branching out and arming various members of Tim Black Wolfpack to be part of a media conglomerate that actually turns the tables, and we spread information, and we're able to report from people on the ground like yourself in Florida, people in West Virginia, people in New York, upstate New York to Brooklyn, Harlem, people in D.C., Maryland, people out in Oklahoma, Kentucky, like wherever you are, wherever my people are, people out in Pittsburgh, I got people there, I got people in Portland, Oregon, people I met in Salt Lake City, Utah, people I met in Columbus, Ohio. So there are people that are part of this organization all over the country. we have, we reach a lot of people. So that's what I think, man. I agree with you, and I agree that it is time to make some serious moves. And people, and the the onslaught of BS is going to help that happen. That's what they don't get. The more they shove down our throats, Pete Buttigieg and Beto O'Rourke telling people, what did my friend say? I think it was Sam who remarked on Beto O'Rourke actually said, we don't have time for Medicare for all. We need to fix what we currently have. We don't have time. Yeah, we don't have time to give you what you really want, that like 70% of Americans want. We don't have time to give you that. We have time to give you something else. Sort of like it, but not quite. I'm going to go to the next call. That was 425. 402. 402, you're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? 402.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hello? Good, how are you?
I'm good, my friend. What's your comment, my friend?
I was talking to a friend of mine, and he's a log cabin Republican. And I was making fun of him, and, I was telling him, like, why are you in this party? They don't like you. They're never going to support you. I mean, what are you doing? And he just started laughing at me. And I said, what's so funny? And he said, this coming from a progressive in a Democratic Party, your party hates you more than my party hates me. And I started thinking about it. And, when it was put like that, I just, I couldn't believe it. And, you got all these people saying we're going to reform the Democratic Party. We're never going to. I mean, it's a fortified position. They have billions and billions of dollars to keep us out. You look at Sun Tzu, or you just look at world history. If you're trying to take something over, you never attack a fortified position. World War One, the whole fighting in World War One took place over 13 miles because they were attacking each other's fortified position. World War II, Hitler comes along. He doesn't attack the French Maginot Line. He goes around the Ardennes Forest. He gets behind enemy lines. France falls in 2 weeks. Yeah, same with Korea. We're getting beat up. We're getting pushed off the peninsula. MacArthur comes around with some boats, comes from the back end, gets behind enemy lines, turns the war around. So, I think people thinking we're ever going to reform the Democratic Party, we're going to do anything, the fact that they're stonewalling Tulsi, and they're putting people like Pete Buttigieg and Kamala Harris, and it's just never going to happen. It's never going to happen, and we need to get together, form a third party, and challenge them that way, because there's billions and billions of dollars of roadblocks preventing us from doing anything in the Democratic Party, and how you think you're going to take it over, reform it. It's a fortified position, and I just think it's stupid.
All right. Thank you for your phone call, my brother. He said it's stupid. He's right, though. Your friend is right, man. Your friend is right about your party hates you more. See, I don't belong to the Democratic Party, so I'm already independent. Kind of preaching to the choir. But there's also as much resistance as going to be as you as an independent as well. Like, you won't even get on the debate stage. You won't even be included in the conversation. They'll just block you out like Shaq. Like, it's like Shaq and Yao Ming. Like this you can't even get to the rim, bro. So there's arguments to be made on both sides, is what I'm saying. There's blocking on both sides. But I feel you, man. I know it's hella frustrating. I know it is. I say do both, I don't think you can get there. But people, one problem is being independent. And look, a billionaire can't even run as an independent. Look at Schultz. He's a billionaire. He can't even run. They tore his ass apart. He's, Remember Hellraiser? I will tear your soul apart. Probably shouldn't have done that. Tear your soul apart. I was a kid. I was scared of that, man. That guy with the pinhead, with the nails in his face. But I loved it, though. I loved it. Schultz can't even run as an independent. He's a billionaire. You know what I mean? That's how bad it is. Trump wasn't a Republican. He was a Democrat. He's always voted Democrat. Princess him hanging out with Clintons, his daughter and Chelsea, good friends all their lives. But he was smart enough to know he would have got cheated like hell. He'd been cheated more in the Democratic Party than the Republican Party, so he ran as a Republican. And as it was put, who put it? I forget who it was. Maybe it was Max. I forget who it was. It said Republicans tried to cheat Trump, stop Trump, but they just weren't as quick to the punch. They weren't as effective as the Democratic Party was against Bernie Sanders. So the same corruption exists in both parties. Just one was less corrupt, less able to adapt, but they threw multiple people at Trump as well. Where do you think all those Republicans came from? It's the same. It's like, why don't people see it? It's the same thing. Look at all the bodies they threw to stop Trump. They just laid in front of Trump and he just stepped on them and bam, bam. Get out of here, Christie, you fat, get out of here, Cruz and Rubio, and get out of here, lady whose name I don't even care to remember. Get out of, he was just stomping on the, he was like King Kong and just throwing them, and just burning down. He burnt down everyone. Jeb Bush, he made Jeb Bush soil himself on national TV, man. He treated him like he was garbage. I'm gonna go to the next call, man. And that's what someone's gonna have to do. Can any of these people can Bernie treat and devour and destroy? No, he will not. And I love Bernie, but he's gonna have to have a killer instinct. And man, if you're gonna go on people like Roland Martin's show, Bernie, and not come on the Tim Black show, you're gonna let him have a one-up on me to shove in my face? You're gonna go on Roland Martin's show? Nina, you... Sister, I'm the one who did the smearing of Nina Turner. And you let Bernie go on Roland Martin? I'm going next call, man. Lord have mercy. 343, you live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim Black, it's your friend from Kingston, Ontario. How are you doing today?
Good, my friend.
And hopefully you get better, and I understand the pain with like dental surgery and all that BS. I've had a tooth taken out for dead root and have a good dental plan with disability, so that's why I always advocate for Medicare for all. That's for you guys. But as I was trying to think here, tomorrow might be a history-making event for Canadian basketball or the NBA. It'll be the first time that the Toronto Raptors make it to the NBA Finals. So hopefully they win tomorrow against the Milwaukee Bucks in Game 6 in Toronto. So, and hopefully the Drake curse doesn't happen. But I just wanted to talk about Canadian politics tonight. And it seems that the PC party here in Canada for the premiership.
Hello? Hey, Pat. Pat. Shit. Two, 4, 3. Hey, Pat. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Tim?
Yeah, yes, who's this?
Hi, this is Thomas. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Thomas. Okay, I lost you, Pat. Hey, Thomas, you're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? Oh, what's your comment,
awesome.
Thomas?
thanks for having me, Tim. I appreciate the content that you put forth.
Thank you, brother.
So I just wanted to call in and kind of put forth my position and get some of your thoughts on what I would consider a super ticket. And that would be the combination of Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang for 2020, with Tulsi being commander-in-chief. Because I think they have really complementary styles between the two, with Tulsi's foreign policy and experience coupled with Andrew Yang's domestic policy and logic. So obviously there's a connection between the two of them. I think most known through the Joe Rogan podcast. So I just wanted to put that out there to you and get your thoughts on the potential of those two running on a ticket together. And what you think.
Wow. All right, well, thank you, Thomas, man, for the call, man. I appreciate it. Wow, man. You said Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang. You know, man, I'm going to have to re-interview Andrew Yang at some point. Because I got questions, and maybe, like, his policies. It's like after I interviewed him, I started hearing stuff about his policies that I didn't hear when he was on my show. And maybe, honestly, guys, maybe I just didn't ask him. Like, you know, how do you feel about certain policy points? Like, what do you think about Medicare for all? What do you think about, you know, raising the minimum wage? What do you think about? I thought I asked some of those questions, but now I get these people saying, well, no, what he wants to do is when he gives you that, whatever, $1,000, he wants that to be it. Be like, okay, good with life. And I don't know if I agree with that. Like, so I need to find out a little bit more about Andrew Yang and what safety net what programs is he willing? Is he trying to remove certain programs and replace it with UBI? Or I looked at it as an addition, but that's not what I'm getting at. But as for them, you know, I'm interested in UBI. I'm interested in a jobs guarantee program, and I think we have a country that needs it. Some of these jobs that people are classifying, if you work 1 hour, they call you employed. Like, people are really drinking the Kool-Aid on these Trump numbers. They're doing all this buybacks in stock. Wall Street doing well is not Main Street doing well. Why don't people get that? So I got a problem with just the way this whole narrative has been spun, and hearing it regurgitated incorrectly day after day after day, Thomas, it really grinds me, man. You think my tooth hurts, man. My freaking brain hurts hearing people defend like we have 40% of our homeless people have jobs. Jobs don't pay enough, man. And just stop blaming everybody for these situations. So when I talk to Andrew Yang the next time, I'll be asking him these important questions. But I like that he's looking at our workforce. I like that about Andrew Yang. I like the direction he was looking, which is forward, about how life is going to exist now, what's happening now, and the trajectory of our workforce. And of course, I like Tulsi Gabbard, her foreign policy, and what that'll mean for domestic policy if you implement the changes in a military-industrial complex. Is ever expanding, a regime change. We stop spending money on war. We start spending money on the poor. We start spending money on programs here, which is what we wanted. Like you know, that's what we all want as progressives. That's even what the majority of Trump supporters wanted. Like, people made it seem like it was just a bunch of racists going, well, we don't want to help any, we just want the white people. But, like, when he said make America great again, people were thinking about themselves. And if they were white, they were thinking about it because of, you know, themselves. But it wasn't just white people. Like, America. And just seeing all this money go out the door and people get jobs in other countries. And don't get me wrong, I know there's some bigots here. But what I'm saying, I don't believe that the majority of people who voted for that, it's not like they had 20 choices. They had Hillary, who said, I'm going to keep doing what Obama was doing. It was great. And people going, nah, it wasn't great for us. It wasn't great for me. It wasn't great for my town. It wasn't great for my family. Well, then what option do you give people? What option is there other than somebody? The one other person was getting any publicity that was still in the race was Trump. That's it. It was like apples and oranges, mofo, and you just had a bunch of oranges you didn't like, that didn't work for you, that disagree with your system. You're like, my body can't take the oranges. I eat the oranges, I get sick. I can't keep the oranges down. Guess I'm gonna have to go with these apples. And I heard a couple of them are rotten, but I'm gonna have to go with the apples because I gotta go with something. You don't want to try this weird greenish papaya type grape? Nah, I don't want that. I don't know what that is. You know, that's that Gary Johnson guy. Well, I want you to try this green tofu fruit. I don't want the tofu fruit. Jill Stein, I don't want the tofu fruit. I don't know anything about it. All I hear about it, she don't like vaccines. That's all I know about it. What that thing John Oliver said on that show that time, which was a smear. Biggest platform that Jill Stein got on, she was smeared on it. The only people knew about it was she didn't like vaccines. Was totally wrong. She wanted our vaccines to be vetted, not by the people that sell the vaccines. Oh, crazy idea. Crazy idea. Earth-shattering idea. Just totally out of left field to say the people that approve the vaccines should not be the people who make money off the vaccines. They might tell you need more of them than you need if they're the people that are going to make money off of you needing more. That's all. That's all she said. Anyway, I'm going to go next call, man. Go next call. 561. Man, 561, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
How you doing, Ted? Can you hear me?
I hear you, brother.
Thank you for letting me call in tonight. I'm driving here, so if I seem a little distant, I apologize. I listen because I agree with you and what your vision and with your vision of what this country can and should be to start with. I really appreciate you coming on every week and having callers. That being said, when I call in, I don't want to talk about talk on the popular viewpoints within the Progressive Party. I do consider myself a progressive, and I agree with all of the main issues that we're trying to achieve with Bernie and Tulsi and all of that. But I called to discuss differences I have within our party with a person I respect and someone in the same group that I belong to, but may have a difference of opinion on how to achieve certain issues. And I think that conversation with a lot of progressives ends up being accusing the other person of playing for the other side or making excuses for the other side and not looking at these differences and these objections in a way that their opposition, for lack of a better word, that they want the same goals as you do. And I think that we can all come up with a better game plan if we handle our disagreements a little more civilly and with a little more respect than just like, when you bring up, Medicare for all, if you even start the issue, it's either you're completely idealistic or you're against it and you want a bunch of people to be sick in the streets. And I think you can be 100% for it and try to come at it from a logical place. And that goes for any issue. And I guess so the one thing I wanted to call and talk about specifically that, and if I'm coming from a place that you guys have discussed it and covered it a lot, and I don't know if you have or not, but I watch a lot, and nobody ever talks about RT-TV. And I think a lot of good information is coming out of there, but I do think it's something you have to watch with a very careful eye and
90 seconds.
Realize that they're always looking for the most negative spin to put on America. And I don't think everyone does that on purpose, but I think that because there's a lack of a place to tell the truth, that an abundance of negative truth builds up, and that can that can sometimes
60
give a
seconds.
lopsided point of view on politics and what is actually going on. I mean, just take Donald Trump, and there's some good things he's doing. He's letting people out of prison, and you know, there is good things he's doing, but there's also a lot of bad things he's doing. And with the Democrats, they're fighting Trump a lot, but they're also rolling over for Trump a lot. And so I think we need to encompass everything that is going on when it surrounds politics and these issues, and try to see that we're mostly, as a country, wanting the same goals, and it's more of a disagreement on how to achieve those.
10 seconds.
Is that your comment?
And that's about all I got for now. Sorry, I'm gonna finish and listen now. I'm driving.
All right, man. You know, it seems like you said a lot, but you didn't really get to the point of like anything specific to really comment on. I will say this though, brother. I think that we should have bold initiatives that we want to accomplish. What's the adage, brother? If you aim for the moon, you'll land amongst the stars. But my problem with incrementalism is what you seem to be making a case for is where we settle for what comes off the table, and we aim for nothing. We aim for little, and we end up with nothing, which is what's been happening. What don't people get? We have 40% of our people who are homeless, living without shelter. My friend, whatever your name is, have jobs. I said we need to raise the cost of living, because 40%, the way we are now, 40% of the people who live outside in the streets or live in their cars have jobs. They just don't make enough money to live indoors. That's a problem that needs to be rectified today. I don't know how incrementalism, so like I don't even know what the disconnection is other than people not knowing that fact. It's not discussed that often on MSNBC or CNN, which is what most liberals watch, where they want to talk about Trump's hands and his toupee and what he tweeted about. It's so stupid. You know, you say we need to get together on issues or whatever. To me, that just sounds so vacuous. What issues do we need to get together on? We say we want pharmaceuticals. Why shouldn't our pharmaceuticals cost the same price as Canada's? Why the fuck not? Why should our pharmaceuticals be the most expensive in the fucking world, bro? If it comes off the same assembly line, it's the same drugs they have in Australia and Canada, why are we paying so much more for them? Why are Americans right now caravanning to Canada to get their drugs, bro? Why? So, you know, all this civility and all this other stuff, you're making that seem like the issue. The issue is people are dying because they can't afford their medications. The number one cause of bankruptcy and home foreclosures is medical. And we say, if other countries can get it done, why can't we get it done? It's very fundamental. Don't tell me to go light and to go soft on these centrists who think it's okay. I'm not going to. And as for all these other issues, I don't know what issues you're talking about. Recycling? What issues are we talking about? That we can have a meeting of the minds on? Look, I'm one person. I would love to staff up. Hell, I can't even afford to buy a freaking computer that works. Or what we need to do is fund people like Tim Black who speak boldly about these issues. And you know what? The right is funding. The right is funding the people that talk about the issues that the right care about. That's when you get a Turning Point USA. They're funding it. People are funding that shit. So we need to fund independent media. And I know we don't have the same pockets. It's a catch-22. But please, man, I don't know. Look, you're not going to get a soft audience here. You're not going to get a soft toast here when you call up and talk about what we need to do is be nicer. Come on, man, that Pete Buttigieg, you need to call it Pete Buttigieg and join his posse. You're never going to get that out of me. I'm way past that thinking, that you're going to nice your way. Look, first of all, you're going to get another Trump victory if you even think that's going to win anything in 2020, because it ain't. That ain't you're gonna nice your way out of this. You have to have bold ideas that excite people, that have people wanting to come out. Trump was bold. He said, hey, let's make America great again. And people said, oh, that's interesting. It's a lot more interesting than I'm with her. What the hell was that? It's so stupid. It's asinine. It's insulting. So, I don't need to team up with people who think it's okay that white people had 10 times the wealth of black folks. I don't want to team up with you if you think that's okay. If you don't think we need a radical adjustment, a radical realignment of our priorities in this country that all of us can benefit from, not just yourself, then we ain't got anything to talk about. I don't negotiate with terrorists. You're a terrorist if you think it's okay that your family, because my family wasn't able to stack wealth, that you can have 10 times as much, and I sit over here eating crumbs. And you say, they're so violent, they're always in jail. Because we got private prisons. And you don't want to break up the private prisons. You don't want to fight to break them up. You want to be nice. Play nice. No, man, it's a lot of changes that need to be made in this country. The people united will not be divided if we focus on these big issues. There are people all across this country who are tired of the BS, man. I want those people. We're going to build a coalition amongst those people. These people that want to play nice, be in the middle. These people who are, the people that are able to play nice are people who are unaffected. That's what I've been learning. The people that want to play nice, who care about everybody, who care about decency and all this, and that's their main objective, high perception and all this garbage. These people, and it's garbage to me, man, because those people are least affected. They just are. Or they would have a sense of urgency if it was their kids dying, if it was their mother living out her car. It was their father who died because he couldn't afford his operation. If it was their job, moved overseas, and now this guy works at Walmart and at the Jiffy Lube. He gives blood to survive, sells his blood to survive, to put food in the house. Families giving blood is a source of raising income, of making money. That is happening in this country. We got people dying from Legionnaire's disease, bro. People catching hookworms because they don't have money to fix the freaking sewage in their house. They got backed up feces in their yards, and their kids playing it. We got kids who have diseases, neurological diseases, from what's in their water. Lead is a toxin. No amount of it is safe in your bloodstream. We have children who will be mentally affected and handicapped by this for their entire lives. It's irreversible. And you say, we should be nicer. We need to all just be nicer. No, we don't. That's the problem. We need to lock those bastards up. We need to fight back with everything that we have. And we need to kick them out of office pronto. And you're not going to excite anybody to bring them out to vote. Half of Americans don't even vote, man. Why not? Because you got uninteresting candidates promising nothing. Same old shit. And that's what they're trying to run again. And look, it won't be Trump. So maybe you got a shot of making that garbage work in 2024, but you got no shot until 2020. Once again, here I am trying to save America from itself. Saying go boldly with Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard, one of these candidates that's talking about bold change. At least the story is riveting. At least it's interesting. At least it's a direct in opposition to the BS mainstream milquetoast policies that you're talking about. And if you don't want to hear it, well, hey, take the L. Because that's what you're going to get. That you're not going to nice your way into defeating Trump. Not when the reality is on the ground. People are not doing so hot. My man KJ is doing well because he sells to businesses. Are people doing well? Businesses are doing better. That's where the tax breaks went. Are people doing well? Are families doing better? I don't think they're doing better. I think they lowered the bar for what a job is with Uber and Lyft. I think they've always lied about the numbers. 1 hour a week makes you employed. As if you can eat off 1 hour a week. That's what I am, man. I'm a fighter, man. And this is just not going to be the place where it's going to be any sugarcoating it. It's not my style, man. It doesn't suit me. I'm not good at it. I'm not going to try to be good at it. There are other people. You know what I suggest for you? Majority Report is run by Sam Cedar. Also, I suggest David Pakman. David Pakman gives a very milquetoasty, down the middle type show, man. That's what he's into. That's this thing, man. What's the other guy? There's a couple of people like that. Those are just the centrists that come to mind, man. They're out there, but they don't have a wolf on there. I'm sorry, man. I don't know how else to put it. That's it, man. I want to thank everybody who called in tonight. I appreciate you for calling in. Much appreciated. Voicing your opinion. Hey, we don't have to agree for me to, no, we don't have to agree on anything. It ain't the Agree with Tim Black show, so it's all good. But I will have something to say. Look, man. If you bump into somebody this weekend and you have a disagreement and you can't come to, you just know it's going to lead to an argument, just sprinkle some facts on them. Hey, I just sprinkled a couple facts on my friend who called up. We go to war. We go to war for territory. We go to war to control other countries, man. Kids are dying. Not just American kids, foreign kids. That needs to stop. What's a nice way to say, stop killing people? Stop droning people. 90% of our drones hit unintended targets. It's called collateral damage. What's a nice way of putting that? Well, we need to all just, we need to get together and form a circle and talk about our feelings. No, we need to stop bombing countries. We need to stop waging war. We need to go through the process of actually voting in Congress and we're going to go to war. We need to stop letting lobbyists control our policies. We need to reverse Citizens United and kick out the lobbyists. And have term limits on these maggots, these old fossils who give it all away, who give away the house. Sprinkle some facts on them. And that way we'll be able to keep our cornbread. That's all I'm saying. I love you guys. Don't forget, I got a couple interviews pending. One with Marianne Williamson, candidate for President of the United States. Very interesting platform. #ADOS. Another very interesting candidate, you may have heard of her, Tulsi Gabbard. That's an interview that's pending. Hopefully, get this tooth handled and get these computers running at least decently. We'll be able to do that. That'd be nice. But they are interested, and there's somebody else as well. Nina Turner's supposed to come on the show, and we love Nina Turner here. I'm a little sour though. I hope that I just thought about it. Maybe April, who called in and said that Bernie was on Roland Martin. Maybe that's some old interview. Maybe that's not. I don't know. You're watching the Tim Black Show, TBTV. Don't forget to find us on justinform.com as well. Go subscribe to that website. It's a website that doesn't steal your data. I see you guys on the next one. I got nothing but love for you, even if we disagree. I wish you nothing but the best. I'm mean, but I'm meaningful. I really believe what I say. I really believe in what I put out. Man, I'm not Anderson Cooper. I'm not paid millions of dollars to tell you stuff. I'm not Rachel Maddow. Don't expect that from this. I won't do it. I won't do it. Okay? I want my kids to have a better world, better country. I care about your kids. I care about my kids. I care about kids I'll never meet in countries I'll never visit. So it's going to be what it's going to be. I'm going to keep talking until they come get me. That's it. That's my oath to you. All right? If you support that, you value what I do here, become a member of the Tim Black Show. Become a member of the Wolfpack. Do so on Patreon, Tim Take Live. Also, do it on YouTube. I got love. Have a great weekend, a great Memorial Day weekend. Spend it with people that you love. Shout out to the vets. We got to educate the world, man, about these wars. I'll see you on the next one. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I want to shout out a couple people that donated to the show and a new member. I got a new member over here. My name Jay. What's up, Jay? Welcome to the Wolfpack, Jay. Thank you for joining, Jay. Rock Lee. This monitor sucks, man. I need so many new things, man. I know you guys say, why does Tim always got to look at the monitor so close? Okay, I got glasses. I need to wear them more often. But it's not just that. It's also this damn monitor, man. I need a new monitor. Rockley says, Tim, please ask Marianne if she changed on Assange. Oh, I will. Thank you, brother. That's the tip. I didn't know that. And also, my name's Jay. Let's organize behind Tulsi 2020. Well, we'll see, Jay. My name's Jay. I'm a supporter of Tulsi 2020 and Bernie 2020, and those are my two candidates that I support, man. I don't know if it's going to come down to me having to choose between the two. I choose to support both of them, unless they give me a reason not to. And if they give me a reason not to, I will stop supporting them. That's kind of how that works. But I do recognize that it's tough to be who they are. I get it, because it's tough being who I am. And I get that too. I hope sometimes people get it. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Shout out to Facebook, my people on Facebook, my people on Periscope, and my people on Blog Talk Radio, Stitcher Radio, and iTunes. And yes, if you called in before the counter went off, you are also on iTunes. If you want an audio version of this, you can go to my iTunes, look up Tim Black Show on iTunes, Apple, and you can get to download your comment on iTunes. I meant to tell people, I don't know if people know that or not. So if you're driving, like my viewer was driving, I think it was Thomas, the caller after that, you want to, listen back to a show, you can always do that in your car. All right, guys, I'm out. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great weekend. I'm going to go take some medicine. Peace.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.